The arena was loud, bright lights, thousands of people screaming, cameras everywhere. And Marcus Steele sat alone at the end of the bench, staring at his shoes. Not nervous, not scared, focused. In exactly 2 minutes, the coach would call his name. Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Winner takes everything. But he wasn't looking at the court. He wasn't looking at the scoreboard. He was looking at his left hand, specifically at the blue wristband with red lines running through it, the one he never took off. He was 16. He had been a decent high school player. Decent, not great. He had a right-handed game that looked clean from the bleachers but fell apart against anyone serious. The reason was simple. He could not go left. His dribble fell apart. His footwork collapsed. His shot wouldn't release. Every time a defender forced him to his left, the play died, and every defender knew it. By his junior year, they were playing him 5 feet to his right and daring him to go the other way. He couldn't. Game after game, he would try once, lose the ball, and spend the rest of the night being herded into the same trap. By his senior year, college recruiters had stopped coming. They came once. They saw the same problem every defender saw. He watched teammates with half his work ethic get offers because their games had 2 sides. They could go either way. He couldn't. The harder he tried, the more obvious it became. The gap between his 2 hands was getting bigger. He was becoming more lopsided, not less. He thought he was working hard. He was. He just wasn't working on the thing that mattered. After one playoff game where he scored 4 points in 40 minutes, Marcus sat alone in the locker room while everybody else left. His coach walked over quietly. "You know what your problem is?" he asked. Marcus expected criticism about confidence, about shot selection. Coach Freeman said something different. "You're a one-handed player." Marcus looked up. "You've spent 5 years making your right hand great. You've spent 0 seconds on your left. Every defender in this league can see it. They don't have to guard you, they just have to push you the way you don't want to go." Marcus didn't say anything. "Your right hand is not the problem," Coach Freeman said. "It's the only weapon you have. And in basketball, a player with one weapon is a player who can be stopped." Then he told Marcus what to do. 30 minutes a day, every day. Only the left hand, dribbling, layups, passes, catches, eventually free throws, no exceptions. The rule that mattered most was the strict one. The right hand could not be used during those 30 minutes. Not to steady the ball, not to catch a rebound, not at all. "The right hand will steal the work if you let it," Coach Freeman said. "Every time it touches the ball, your left learns nothing. You have to make your strong hand useless. That's the only way the weak one becomes real." Marcus didn't understand it that night. He understood it 8 years later. "That's the habit," Coach Freeman said. "Not training, not effort. That specific habit every day with no compromises. Do that for 2 years and you won't recognize yourself." Most days, he wanted to skip. The thing that kept him there was something Coach Freeman had said in passing, that the body forgets what you do once a week and remembers what you do every day. So he showed up, even on bad days, especially on bad days. Then somewhere in the 2nd month, something shifted. The dribble stayed, not for long, not consistently, but the ball stopped slipping. His fingers started knowing where the ball would be. By the 3rd month, the layups landed soft. By the 6th month, he could finish a left-handed reverse in practice. By the end of that season, in a game against a team that had blanketed him to the right for 2 years, he drove left and finished cleanly off the glass. The defender just stood there. He'd been watching the right hand. The left one wasn't supposed to do that. Coach Freeman didn't say anything in the locker room after the game. He came over slowly, sat down on the bench beside Marcus. The other players were still shouting on the court, celebrating a win that for once had been built on something other than Marcus disappearing. The coach reached into his bag. He pulled out a wristband. Marcus looked at him. "For the hand that earned it," Coach Freeman said. That was the whole conversation. The coach got up and walked away. Marcus picked up the wristband. It was lighter than he expected. He slid it onto his left wrist. He never took it off. College noticed him in a way they hadn't before. Defenders couldn't predict him anymore. Scouts watched film and saw something they almost never saw. A guard who finished with either hand and didn't telegraph. He wasn't faster. He wasn't taller. He wasn't more explosive. He was unpredictable. And at every level after, that unpredictability compounded. By the time he reached the NBA, defenders who had spent their entire careers reading dominant hands were guessing wrong against him every night. But he never stopped doing the 30 minutes. Even in the NBA, even on travel days, even after championships, 30 minutes every single day, only the left hand. The wristband stayed on the wrist that had built itself, one practice at a time, for 8 years. The coach pointed at him. "You're in." Marcus stood slowly. The crowd was a wall of sound. His heart was loud in his chest. He looked at his left wrist one more time. 2 minutes left in Game 6. A possession came. The defender pressed him hard to his right. Marcus went left, drove past him without hesitation, finished off the glass with his left hand. Soft, clean, exactly the way he'd done 10,000 times in empty gyms nobody cared about. The defender did what defenders had been doing for years now. He just stood there. That moment, that drive, that finish, that championship-deciding bucket was not the product of talent or luck or the magic of a big stage. It was the product of one habit, done every day for 8 years. That was everything. Afterward, when reporters crowded him, someone asked how he'd stayed so composed. Marcus laughed softly. He held up his left wrist. The blue wristband with the red lines, faded now. "This hand," he said, "took 8 years to build." That was the whole answer. Most people wait for a moment, a big break, a perfect chance. Marcus had spent 8 years building a hand he didn't even need to be good at, until the moment he did. One habit, done daily, did everything else.